you've declared your backing for Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
I mean, there will be a new president, and it could be Donald Trump.
I think what is most important is for us to try to decipher now what is real and what is not, and what is honest and what is dishonest, and be accepting of those things and not operating from fear. Some people want to win races. Other people want to be president of the United States.
You know, there's been talk about endorsements and political leanings lately, specifically about Hillary Clinton getting some notable support. But here's what we really need to focus on. With a potential Donald Trump presidency on the horizon, our biggest challenge is sorting through what's genuine and what isn't. We need to approach this with clear eyes, not letting fear drive our decisions. Think about it. Some folks are just trying to win political races, while others have their sights set on the highest office in our nation. Speaking of political drama, have you caught wind of the latest clash between Trump and Lady Gaga? It's quite something. Seems the former president couldn't handle some criticism from the pop superstar. Before we dive deeper into that story though, I'd love to take a quick moment to connect with you all. Our channel's analytics show that while most of you, actually over 98%, regularly watch our content, many haven't hit that subscribe button yet. It would mean everything to us if you'd consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything, but makes an enormous impact on our channel's growth. Have you subscribed?
Vote like your life depends on it, or vote like your children's lives depend on it. Because they do. A man who believes his fame gives him the right to grab one of your daughters, or sisters, or mothers, or wives by any part of their bodies. And all the men with daughters and sisters and mothers, everybody, no matter how you identify, now is your chance to vote against Donald Trump. Vote for Joe. He's a good person. Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's get back to our story. Picture this scene. Trump's at one of his rallies, and he's doing that thing he does. You know, where he turns someone's name into almost a playground taunt? He's going after Lady Gaga, pronouncing her name in that distinctive way only he can manage. But this wasn't just random mockery. His team had actually developed a strategic approach to counter Gaga's support for Biden. Apparently, having an internationally renowned artist support your campaign is now somehow controversial. Trump, being himself, couldn't resist claiming he had numerous stories about Gaga. Then there's Gaga's powerful message to voters.
Trump said Lady Gaga is not good. But here's the thing. In 2010, Trump tweeted, "I saw Lady Gaga last night and she was fantastic." I do like and I do respect that he only dances from the waist up. There is zero leg movement in any, even when he does that one. You know that one.
She emphasized how this isn't just another election. It's about protecting ourselves and future generations. She specifically addressed the seriousness of voting in light of Trump's infamous comments about women, calling on everyone, regardless of gender identity, to consider what's at stake. She spoke directly about Trump's recorded statements regarding his treatment of women, urging voters to consider their daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives. Her endorsement of Joe Biden was clear and personal, describing him simply as a good person.
Now he's got Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is not too good. I could tell you plenty of stories. I could tell you stories about Lady Gaga. I know a lot of stories about Lady Gaga.
Terrorists and criminals pouring in, and with inflation eating your hearts out, vote for Donald Trump. What the hell do you have to lose?
They're two vastly different people, okay? One of them is pure, you know, and he's a patriot, right? And the other, you know, just going to say whatever she needs to say to get elected.
What mysterious dirt could Trump possibly have on Lady Gaga? Perhaps she once returned a book late to the library, or even more scandalous, maybe she commits the culinary sin of drowning her steaks in ketchup. Speaking of which, we all know someone with an orange hue who's guilty of that particular offense. If you watch the footage from Trump's campaign event, it's absolutely hilarious. There he stands, his signature hairstyle whipping around in the breeze, repeatedly saying Lady Gaga as if he's just delivered the comedic line of the century. Spoiler warning, it wasn't actually that funny, but the entertainment didn't stop there. Trump's campaign team decided to attack Gaga for being against fracking, because apparently showing concern for environmental issues is somehow controversial now.
6 years ago, I was going to have the best year we ever had at Joanne before COVID. And when I say best year, it was 25% more than any other year. You know, he's a patriot and his policies are there. All right. They're on target for me anyway. All right. I mean, I'm into, low fuel and food prices, right? Low interest rates. I mean, they're all, if you stack them up side by side, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. All right. She keeps talking about opportunity zones, right?
What's next on their agenda? Criticizing her for supporting puppies or opposing stubbed toes. Everyone waited with bated breath to see how Gaga would respond to these childish tactics. Would she descend to Trump's level? Perhaps release a scathing musical response? The anticipation was electric. True to her style, Gaga delivered a masterful social media comeback. When Trump claimed Lady Gaga is not good, she cleverly reminded everyone of his 2010 tweet where he praised her performance as fantastic. She pointed out she was clearly living rent-free in Trump's thoughts. Mic drop moment. No elaborate meat dress required for this victory. The fascinating part about Trump's rally behavior is his distinctive dancing style.
During the Ivana divorce case, I saw you as a victim. And people say, well, wait a second. Donald Trump isn't good to women. Donald Trump dates a lot of different women. Donald Trump was cheating on his wife. Donald Trump was doing this. I saw you as the victim in this case.
I like it.
You know why?
The website BuzzFeed just posted excerpts from Trump's appearances with Howard Stern dating back to 1997. And in them, Trump had some startling things to say about women, including his wife, Melania.
She must be terrific in bed.
She is terrific in bed. Now, she wouldn't want me to say.
Notice how he only moves from the waist up. There's absolutely no leg movement, even during his signature moves. You know the ones I mean. But wait, this celebrity political showdown was just warming up, evolving into an epic clash between a genuine superstar and someone who merely imagines himself to be one. Enter the little monsters. And no, we're not talking about childhood bedroom fears. These are Gaga's devoted fans, and they were about to demonstrate exactly what happens when you pick a fight with their mother monster. Trump continued his rally rhetoric. Now he's got Lady Gaga.
Howard Stern, he's a weak guy. He's weak. He's going, what about, It was so ridiculous. Even she was embarrassed. It was like softball. But all of them. Howard, I knew him very well. I was on the show many times. I used to think he was good. Then I dropped him. And I dropped him like a dog. And his ratings are very challenged.
Lady Gaga, she's not too good. I could tell you plenty of stories about Lady Gaga. I know a lot of stories. Meanwhile, he pushed his campaign message about inflation and border concerns, urging people to vote for him with his characteristic "what do you have to lose" weight approach. The contrast between these two figures couldn't be more stark. Supporters describe one as a genuine patriot, while the other is criticized for speaking their mind freely. Two completely different approaches to public life and leadership.
When Donald asked me to introduce him at the Republican convention, I said, Donald, I can't. I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. He was very upset with me, and he said, no. And then he hated me. Then I was a bad guy, no longer had ratings. I wasn't funny. I got all the crap for it. How can we have that kind of mentality? I mean, because she disagrees with his policy.
It turns out Lady Gaga's fan base isn't just about singing along to hit songs and admiring avant-garde fashion choices. These little monsters have quite the reputation for digital activism that would make most political strategists envious. When Trump decided to criticize their beloved icon, they didn't just respond with angry emoji reactions. They orchestrated such an overwhelming wave of support for Gaga across social media platforms that you might have thought she was launching her own presidential campaign. Meanwhile, Trump's campaign team was pursuing their strategy with the persistence of someone who just can't walk away from a losing hand at the casino. They kept alluding to these mysterious stories about Gaga.
I think Angelina Jolie is a great beauty. 7. Really? What? Well, come on. He goes, you know who's a great beauty? I go, who? He goes, my daughter, Ivanka. Now, she's a 10. And so we'd have these discussions.
Oh, my. There's 11 times in my book, and it's a fascinating little ride through the book.
because I would have Donald Trump on, and I say it in the book, he was maybe one of the best top 5 guests of all time. And why? He was wild. I thought I was wild. He would come on. He would start assigning numbers to women and evaluating. I'm like, is this guy for real? What is he?
Ooh, how intriguing. What could these earth-shattering revelations possibly be? The secret behind her infamous meat dress? The true inspiration for Poker Face? The suspense was supposedly building, but honestly, it was more likely inducing yawns.
I thought I was riffraff here on the E! Channel. You ever watch this show?
I watch it. It's a little tough to get it in New York, but we're going to change that.
We're going to change that. Donald's going to change it. A lot of people say, hey, Howard, how did you get Donald Trump on the show? A lot of people will ask that because Donald is a man of fierce loyalty, but he is also fierce with his enemies. If someone is your enemy, you don't associate with them.
Well, I don't really like people that are enemies, and I like to destroy enemies, as you understand. As you.
To add another layer to this political entertainment, let's rewind to 6 years ago. Someone mentioned how they were anticipating their best year ever at Joann's. We're talking a 25% increase over previous performance, before certain global events changed everything.
Have you been hurt by the comments that you're with him because he's rich?
You know, the people, they don't know me. People who talk like this, they don't know me.
Well, you don't see many 26-year-old supermodels on the arm of 53-year-old car mechanics.
You know what? You can't sleep or to hug or to talk with beautiful things, with beautiful apartment, beautiful plane, beautiful cars, beautiful houses. You can do.
The conversation then shifted to comparing political stances. He's a true patriot, and his policies align perfectly with my interests. I'm particularly fond of lower fuel costs, affordable food prices, and reduced interest rates. When you evaluate them side by side, I struggle to comprehend her perspective.
Whenever you put him on the air, now this is before he was running for president, he was an open book. He would say anything. And, you know, oddly enough, during the campaign and even now, people quote these interviews that I did with him big time. I was quite surprised when they dragged out every single Donald Trump interview I had done. And in some ways, I felt it was unfair to Trump because, like, for example, they were fond of quoting that Donald Trump had said something to the effect that STDs were his personal Vietnam.
She keeps discussing opportunity zones, but I'm not following her logic. But Gaga wasn't content to let Trump monopolize the narrative. She transformed her star power into political momentum, campaigning for Biden in Pennsylvania with such flair that it looked like a fusion between a sold-out concert and a political rally. The contrast couldn't have been more striking. Trump's sea of red MAGA hats versus Gaga's glittering political spectacle that seemed to merge Mardi Gras with Democratic participation. As Election Day approached, anticipation built. Would Trump's team finally reveal their supposedly scandalous information about Gaga's past? Would it be as momentous as his long-awaited tax returns? As surprising as watching his hair battle with a strong gust of wind? After all that buildup, nothing. Trump's team came up as empty-handed as his promises about healthcare reform. They couldn't uncover any dirt on Gaga, even if someone had provided them with excavation equipment and detailed instructions. So who emerged victorious from this peculiar clash between politics and pop culture? Was it the man known for his distinctive hairstyle or the woman famous for her outrageous outfits? Well, sometimes in the world of politics, things aren't simply black and white, or in this uniquely bizarre case, orange and meat dress.